Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Dota Pit Season 5 European Qualifier Finals. We're going into the very last game of this best of 5. It's been a long journey and an early morning, but it all comes down to this. Elements Pro Gaming versus OG Dota. That's right, OG taken to a Game 5 against Elements here. Elements started strong in this series with a 2-0, but OG have been able to warm up quite a bit and string together a couple of kills since then, and are now just one game away from securing a trip to Croatia to compete on LAN with all the other big names, including EG, Wings, DC, Invictus Gaming, Team Secret, and such. It all comes down to this. I'm Kyle Guy. I'm going to be joined again by Rhyme. Here we go, Rhyme. This is it. Game number 5. Early predictions on how this is going to go before more picks are seen. How do you feel?
Predictions, I think Element's got Darkseer, so they're going to have a better time. They're not going to have to worry about the mag having a hard time like before. And I'm a personal supporter of Swift Ending, but I kind of want to see OG do well with these two stand-ins, because I want to see them prove that they can kind of work together as a cohesive unit, even without Fly. So
that is
yeah,
an important
looking forward to it.
That's an important point that we make sure that everyone knows, is that OG are playing with two stand-ins. Both Fly and Ana are, I believe, out on vacation, so they're going to be playing without their support and mid laner and without their captain. But they've had No Tail stepping in to fill the captain and drafting role, it looks like, and a formidable support in Yapzor. And Trixie's also, especially in that last game, been repping the off lane pretty good. And a hero he had been playing a lot previously, but we had not seen yet in his time with OG, at least if I'm not mistaken, is a Sand King grab. Haven't been seeing a whole lot of Sand King in 7.0, Ryan, but here he makes an early showing. Why do you think that now is the time to suddenly pull out a Sand King?
Mostly because it's just kind of works for Podem. They just wanted another kind of support that doesn't exactly reveal. They don't want to pick like Shadow Demons early. There was no Visage, which was their go-to for the second pick. They wanted something that could possibly be an offlaner and possibly be a support. Like, they don't want to show too much from their first two picks. Because Visage, it's definitely a support, but it's strong enough that like you don't have to have the ambiguity. But just keeping the Sand King for the first two means that the enemy can't exactly like counter your strategy. They don't know your lane straight away. So I think it's a reasonable pick, and probably going to be Trixie playing it. So
I love that. Really,
yeah.
It limits a lot of the options that Elements might have been considering too, especially if they're able to kind of finagle the Sand King into a nice laning position. We'll have to see where things continue to develop from here. But yeah, with the Faceless Void coming out, you're already going to be seeing huge elements of team fight between the Darkseer and Faceless Void. I mean, Elements now already have really good high ground defense too. So these factors kind of out of the way, where they can use the remaining 3 picks to make sure they lock down, like, you know, their stun, some burst, and obviously some strong core late game to balance it all out. Second phase is coming in, though. We'll see if OG will respect the swift ending Slark, or if, based on the last game, they don't feel like it's, you know, necessary to have to remove or keep in the comfort pick.
Naga, I think it's almost guaranteed that the Void will be farming, because with Void, Darkseer, neither of those heroes are very likely to go middle. We haven't seen a mid Darkseer since about TI3, so it's fairly
easy to jungle. Could be a new 4-position Darkseer, Rhyme. Gotta be optimistic in the final Game 5.
It could be.
Yeah.
I just don't think we're very likely to see a Slark, so they ban out the Naga. They don't want to deal with that. Although Naga currently is in a very weird state because her control groups are still bugged. You used to be able to previously hotkey each individual illusion and it would stay, and then it would persist through games and persist through death. But now, if you hotkey each individual illusion, it only works for those 30 seconds, and then you have to do it all over again. So you have to go back to the like 2-year-old way of doing it, which just involves like using the control group and then like shift clicking, cloning, and things like that, which is all very, very difficult. So Naga is actually not as strong as she was, simply because you can't do that stuff anymore. But now it's time for OG to pick something against the Darkseer Void. They probably want to pick quite a bit of lockdown. Oracle's been banned out, so they don't have that to worry about, or that available for them.
Yeah, other formidable options of something that you maybe can lane to help with against a Darkseer. I've seen a Disruptor occasionally from time to time, but here they find value in the Elder Titan, it looks like. This has been a Jarek's grab for a while, even you know, on his time on Liquid before. Now provides a great minus armor for Hefty Burst. I mean, there's Disruptor, but shows up on the other team for Elements here.
So it's a fairly rough safe lane. So Disruptor Void can just be right-clicked and pursued. You have a good follow-up to Chrono. you have a decent catch, and it's generally just a good support to have against Podham and Sand You can just drop the Static Storm on a Burrow, on his Sandstorm, and then he just can't really get away. You can't Burrow Strike, you can kind of use it as a way of chasing people. And just generally, the ET is pretty good against Void because you can always stomp after the Chronosphere, so people can't right click and follow up onto their own initiation, so it can protect your cause. I'm just worrying. There we go. Sven does stand ready.
Sven stands strong here for OG right now. You get your hefty burst, but yeah, they're going to have to find a way to be able to... I mean, they have great lockdown, stomp, burrow, arrow, to allow Sven to kind of get into the action, but I don't know. I feel like they might need a little
never-ending line of disables, I think. Like, once the Sven stun hits, or Sankey stun, like one after the other, I think most targets are pretty dead. But the question is, with Sven, he's pretty good against Void. Void is almost entirely physical damage. You've got the Warcry, you've got usually a considerable net worth lead. The point is, like, if Void gets equivalent net worth to the Sven, that's all well and good for the Sven up until the point where Void gets like Manta Diffusal, and that's the point where the Warcry stops meaning anything because it just gets purged off. The Void gets to pick and choose which of your supports he wants to kill, and that made it through. That hasn't gone through the second phase of banning this whole series, I think.
Yeah, OG had found more priority in getting rid of the Ogre and then the CK as a follow-up, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe they slept on the idea of the OD coming out potentially. This finds its way in. Could this be detrimental to OG? I mean, it feels like a pretty damn solid pick from here, but...
Yep, it's a lot of single target. You've got the Sven, you've got SK, these kind of need to follow up onto each other. They can only really go on one target at once unless you get like a massive AoE Burrow Strike or like a multi-hero Sven stun. So you can use the Astral as a save. The OD is very good at dealing with the high armor targets. Apart from the Sven BKB, he's fairly good against pretty much all of these heroes on the Radiant side. And I think as long as they can protect this OD, like he's going to be their true one position, while the Void can just kind of sacrifice his own farm in order to get like the best initiations and to maximize the safety on the map for the OD. Because if this OD gets anywhere near the same net as this Sven, this game gets very, very difficult for OG very, very quickly.
It's on them to be able to get a formidable potential matchup for this OD in the mid lane. And from the looks of it, I mean, are we wagering that this is going to be a support Mirana in this case, and they're probably going to grab something else to match up against the OD in the mid lane?
Yeah, I think Bottom, it's not the greatest matchup in the world, but like you can keep right-clicking him, you can keep him on his toes. Like you can maybe expect to go even if you play the lane quite well, but once OD hits like level 5, his Astral did, I think the range did get changed, but yeah, the range is much worse than it used to be at pretty much all levels. So you can't really rely on using that to harass the bottom anymore. So I think the lane's probably a lot more even than it used to be. So if OG want to put Mirana in middle lane, then they can. But there may be something else that they might want to put against the OD in order to guarantee a bit more farm coming out that lane. But I don't think their draft really has enough room for another like mega farming hero. So I think bottom mid would probably be the best fit for them.
We'll see if that's going to be the case or not here. As a final ban here for Elements, they are wagering that the Nyx Assassin could have been a potential option, so they get rid of that. I don't know if this is going to be a tell as far as what Elements were looking to go for here instead, but we're wagering it's a support pick, and it's going to be an Omni Knight. Shadow Demon is still out there, and if it's a mid lane Mirana, I don't know. I mean, Elder Titan Shadow Demon, not the worst thing ever as a support duo. I mean, do you think it's necessary enough when you see an Omni Knight?
I don't think it's necessary, but they don't really have any natural diffusal carriers, so maybe they have to. But I'm just slightly concerned, like, if they do go for SD, like, you've got the SD Podom combo, you've got, like, Sand King who can follow up to Sven, but it just feels like you've just got this amalgamation of just stuns and heroes that do damage, but there's no real, like, cohesiveness, there's no, like, unity among it. Whereas Elements, like, you can see, like, there's going to be a Chrono after maybe, like, Darkseid's going to get Iron Shell, they're going to be beating people up together, and then eventually the Chrono will become set up for the OD, who then can save people, he can save the Void if it gets gone on, and then he can, like, counter-initiate with Chrono. And Zeus.
Woo!
That is a hero we have not seen in many an age.
No, we have not. And Zeus did receive a little bit of loving in this recent Dota 2 patch. I know he has a interesting new Agnum's Scepter, right? It's like it creates a Nimbus cloud?
Yep, it creates a Nimbus cloud which you can put anywhere on the map, and then it deals the current level of Lightning Bolt every 2.5 seconds, I want to say. to the target that is closest to the center of the Nimbus, which you can use for pushing out lanes. I think it does also provide true sight because of the lightning bolt, so you can use it for that respect. So you pretty much always have detection as long as you have a Zeus with an Ags, but that's not the strongest part of it, I think. You can just use it for map control, you can use it for just team fight damage. And when you have like an Ags and Refresher, like you got someone stuck in that area, can you just imagine just getting bolted like every second? And then also getting Zeus bolting you himself, and he actually drops the Thunder God's Wrath as well. There's a lot of damage there, but I think for the most part he's just going to be farming and just following up on the Sanking and Sven initiations.
So who's the support though? I mean, I don't know much to see if like this new 7.0 and this Zeus is a support kind of Zeus, or if that's just going to be taken to the mid lane.
Omni. Support Zeus against Omni is just not going to get enough traction quickly enough. I think it's going to have to be like Sanking's going to have to be. It's got to be ET Mirana supports, I think, but then you're entirely reliant on your Sanking and Sven like doing one on their lane, so you can follow up on their initiations. But there isn't that much to roam on Zeus, so you don't have the main weakness of Zeus, which is he's very slow, he's very weak, he doesn't have high HP, he doesn't have high armor. But without much roaming potential, I think they can kind of guarantee his farm in middle, and then use him as a kind of guarantee that anyone they go on will die. And he's always nice to have as like, you get the Zeus with the Veil, and maybe Aetherlens if you want to, but a Zeus with the Veil, he's one of those heroes that can just straight up kill a Void in between his time walks.
What if he has a rough start? Is he still kind of a hero that can, you know, bounce back? I mean, he's got nuking power to try to farm his way back into relevance, but if he's bullied in the early game...
There is a saying, like, you can shut down a Zeus, but he is still a Zeus. And he is going to have that... What is this? What is it, the field called? I can't remember, the annoying static field, that's the one. And then that's always going to be a factor in the mid game and late game, and he just does a lot of nuke damage. If he just has mana boots, or if he has mana boots plus Veil or whatever, he still does a lot of damage. And it's S4 playing it, so yeah, it's going to be mid Zeus. It's going to be Jarex and Yapsor playing Mirana and ET supports, No Tail carrying, and Trixie, he's playing the Scorpion Man.
Should be a doozy. Welcome, folks. It's the game number 5, our last game of the day, the last game of, well, the Dota Pit qualifiers. This has been the last qualifier for the last vacant spot. And here we are in a best-of-5 final where it's OG versus Elements. Elements starting strong, 2-0. OG have been able to string together 2 kills since then, or 2 wins since then, and now are just 1 away from being able to make it to the LAN. And look how they want to start out this game 5, smoked up as 5. They are just running a train right up towards that top rune spot. And the one up there is Swift Ending. Hey guys, good luck, have fun. Yeah, we're hanging by the rune doing nothing. Swift Ending, who's probably getting ready to time. Oh my god, what's happening? He actually happens to time walk right over to Trixie, gets connection with the Burrow Strike. That means the arrow's going to connect, and that means that OG will claim first blood in our game number 5.
Good luck, have fun. Alright, so Mitch is going to go claim the other bounty rune, so yeah, it's going to be 2 bounty runes each, but Swift Ending is just going to have a little bit of a harder time. Who got the goal for that? That was Trixie, so yeah, they're going to have send Trixie to bot lane, so he's going to be 1v1ing the Darkseer, and they're going to be going this kind of pseudo aggro lane with the Sven and the Impodum. Although the Mirana may spend quite a lot of time trying to keep the OD on his toes by dodging arrows and so on and so forth, but Zeus doesn't really kill with an arrow hitting his mid opponent for maybe not until like level 4 or 5, honestly, because he just doesn't have like the same level of right clicks that most other heroes do.
In the meantime, Jarex can always just take these arrows up to one of these camps like he is now and just kind of farm up a bit, at least get to level 2 and such. But then, yeah, I'm just as curious to see if he's going to be flirting around the mid lane on this OD or joining this company at the top. A stomp from Yapsor could lead to an easy arrow, but Yapsor's already up in arms with a couple of Element supports here, trying to run back and away, eats a Thunderstrike, and he'll just keep running his ass all the way back out and into the lane.
LeBron's just, I'm going to skill Degenerora, and I'm going to hit people. So, yeah. I can see, like, the Sven being kind of screwed over by the Degenerora at some point. Like, if this game goes any kind of late, then when this Omni starts getting his items, like a 4-staff and max Degenerora...
Have you seen his level 25 talent?
Oh my, yeah, you're just galed forever.
Minus 16 Degenerora, if he happens to get that far. No Tail can't help but pass on an opportunity to get a nice 2-man Stormhammer. and gets a few pot shots into LeBron, who is still trying to get to that level 2 so he can even have the heal available to him. But OG happy to kind of flirt around with him a little bit here. Jerix is now also part of the laning action and looking to line up any sort of relative shot between him and the stomp of YapzOr. They might have some kill potential here, but Gogi has been trying to at least pull the camp on OG's watch, though.
Yeah, the thing is, if they start dying top, if OG start dying top here, then this game gets very, very difficult. But they're kind of pressuring Swift Ending. He's not doing very well. He's behind the Sven on farm. If they can limit his farm like this, then it's very good for them. But I think they need the Potom just to be focusing on farming it for herself, like she is now. She's sitting at level 3. She's taken some hard camps. She's doing pretty well for herself. And this is what they need. They need, like, the Potom and the Sanking to be able to run around together and to do most of the heavy lifting while Sven kind of farms, and Zeus acts as like a follow-up. Because otherwise, I don't think they're going to have enough stuff, really, to just kind of run around with. Cole is just holding strong in this mid lane now. Just holding a steady advantage, I think.
Yeah, it seems a little back and forth right now with OD just barely getting the upper hand. The big breadwinners of CS are obviously these two offlaners in the bottom lane going in their 1v1. Mitch has been content on being able to kind of cut the wave and maybe farm some of the jungle nearby, which has earned him that top 19-0 CS spot. But Trixie's also been going to work inside the lane. But now with Jerix paying him a visit, it is going to force Mitch back out from there and kind of go back into the lane to reset a bit. Up and above, they're making a move here for Gogi. There's going to be the stomp connection with the Stormbolt. Right clicks will come out, and that will secure YapzOr the pickoff. OG pull ahead now 2-0.
Yep, so Gogi just gets briefcased a little bit, and there's really not that much you can do about that. There's the Omni heal now. No, he's at level 2, but there just isn't much damage on this tri lane whatsoever. It's just they're trying to get Void farm and hope that he doesn't really die. Maybe get the support some levels, but this isn't the moment where Elements feel like they're strongest. They just want to get their levels, maybe pressure the Sanking a little bit with the Darkseer. But for now, just play passively. Like, you've conceded 2 kills, but it's not really too much to worry about.
Burrow from Trixie here. Jerix is around now, and so's No Tail. Long stun will find its connection. Jerix looking to line up the shot. It's a facial, but heal comes in from LeBron. Nice little rotation from the support. Will fend off most of this gank. I say that, but Trixie will be able to get the caustic kill. But LeBron moving forward with his own Ion Shell, slowing them down. He's found a target in No Tail, but Trixie's already made the move for the backliner and Gogi. So now LeBron's stuck on his own between 3. He'll try to run back out, but oh, with the heal power, he's trying to make a go for Trixie, but No Tail gets connection with the stun. Jerix gets the follow-up stun right there, and it will get the takedown of LeBron. Mitch is back, and he's ready to play, though, and he gets a nice little takedown onto No Tail.
Oh, he knows what Jerix is.
Yes, he does. Vacuums him back into a Ion Shell that will finish him off. All the meanwhile, Trixie will be able to get the finish onto Gogi. But really, when the dust does settle, it is a, what, 2 for 2? I mean, Mitch goes down first. They're able to bring down No Tail. Who really gets the better of that?
Trixie does. Trixie was the main winner of that one. He just kept killing people, really. So now he's got his Tranquil Boots in his stash. He's halfway to his Blink Dagger almost. So
that's crazy.
Trixie's not doing too bad. Coming out of a 1v1 versus Darkseid like this, he's pretty okay. So he's probably going to start threatening the OD, really. He can actually move around. He's got his level 6. He's got enough movement speed that he can start threatening. I think if he shows up in the Void's lane, I don't think the Void can do very much about it whatsoever. And, hold on, look at Void. He's just got, look at his quick buy. He knows what he wants.
A hood?
Yeah, he's just going to buy a hood. That's reasonable, I think.
Yeah, you got a
Especially
Zeus.
in this game where...
Got a SK.
I think
Starfall.
hoods are going to be the name of the game for Elements in this game.
Hoods, utility, resilience, whatever it takes to fend off this nuking power that OG are going to be flaunting here in this game. There's a rotation from OG to head up towards the top lane, but while they head there, Cole's looking to open up on S4 a bit. Had some backup power lift with LeBron, but he'll just sport a heal for now. And just as fast as OG were actually rushing up towards that top lane, both Jerix and YapzOr turn a 180 here, and now they're looking for maybe a catch of an arrow onto this mid lane. Man, they keep running back and forth. We'll head back top now.
Yeah, Jerix has been trying to do a lot. He was level 3 at 2 minutes, and now he's level 4 at 6. And his farm has really slowed down. He's been trying to take part in these fights. Bot Mitch is pressuring No Tail quite a lot, but yeah, he hasn't really been able to farm. He's been making sure that his Sanking was doing fine. He's stopping the Sven getting pressured, which is okay. but I'm sure he would like to be a little bit richer than he is.
One TP's out, and another TP's in. Trixie shows up. Gogi without a glimpse yet, still just level 2. I mean, you see Jarek's on one side who's under-leveled. I mean, I guess you have Gogi to kind of be the representation for Elements on the other side. Still looking to find some XP himself. Yapsor's going to get a solo in here, but yeah.
Monumental. Like, you've got 2 and 3 versus 4 on 4.
Mm-hmm.
I think the main difference comes between the Starks' farm and the Sanking and the OD and the Zeus. But there's really not that much in it, so if OG can turn these support levels into something tangible, then the game looks pretty good for them. Oh. Yapsor's just stomping people top lane.
Trixie content on just kind of holding this lane for now. He is at 1,700 gold. Elements would love to be able to bring him down to stop that mid lane, though. Arrow connection from Jarex. He leaps in, gets the Starfall. He'd been waiting around to get some connection like that for a bit of time, but it looks like he will finally get the connection he was seeking, and they'll be able to bring OD down a peg. He's going to get muscled out from the lane. LeBron will soak the experience for now, but that is definitely going to be a step back for Elements.
Yapsor's getting ran at by Swift Ending here.
Yes, he is. Swift Ending. Leapfrogs right up over, and Yapsor happy to run out the other direction. OG looking pretty good again in this early game, and we have not yet seen a situation where it's Elements having a rougher time in the early game and then being able to come back. Every win I feel like we see from Elements is a game where they had been, confidently winning almost from start to finish. I mean, unless there's one I'm missing. I feel like...
no, that seems to be about correct.
I would definitely count on OG as a team to be able to bounce back from the laning phase over a team like Elements. So Elements, just based on recent trend, they're going to have to find a way to really rush themselves back into this. Mitch steps back and then goes forward with the wall, but as that happens, No Tail steps away. That could be a wall for nothing, as the rotations were starting to come in here from Elements, now seeking a fight that's just not in front of them. Swift Ending is also here with his Chrono, and I don't think they're going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, very wise from Reggie just backing out. So, yeah, just not really working out. Boyd just unable to really make his first rotation work very well. Darkseer, he's farming pretty well, he's getting close to his mech, but that's not for a bit longer. OD, he's kind of slowing down a bit now. After that initial death, he's trying to farm up his 4 stuff so he feels a little bit safer, but I'm just worried because like the Zeus, yeah, he's going straight for his Ether Lens, I think.
And he has got that ulti. Oh man, this Gogi Disruptor is so dead. Hi, how you doing? No Tail just casually runs in from behind. He will be able to get the glimpse off though, but I mean the damage had already been done. S4 just casually runs on forward and blows him up. The power of heavens above. Cole, buddy. I don't think you can defend that tower, man. He runs in there like he's gonna cause a stank, but he ends up just getting absolutely decimated here. OG run right through him, and now we'll be taking the tier 1 mid lane. Frantic Elements pop a smoke here from the bottom lane and could be making a move that way. I don't know, or maybe they're just hoping to see if they can catch anyone out on a rotation, but...
Man, they really want to use their first Chrono and double Iron Shoal.
Yeah, they really do.
Sharax, like, this is... They're hoping someone TP's bot to defend this, but I don't think anyone from OG is brave enough to really venture down there. And the smoke runs out, and again, they just don't really seem to get anything with this Void so far.
Boy, now we have a blink on Trixie, and that Aether Lens is just about complete. Heavier spell amp going to be coming out. Our level 1 talents are going to be showing up soon for some of these cores. Level 6s on the supports are starting to come together. They already are together here for OG, as we hear the Moonlight Shadow come out. Potential setup for them towards this top lane where they already have a ward behind the tower. They're hoping that someone rotates up here to defend, against this Yapsor push, but...
Yeah, no one's been farming up here for like the last 4 minutes, and no one seems to really care.
Yeah.
To the point where he's level 8 and his Sven is level 6.
Dang. Yeah, no one wants to stop him. Jarex, though, could be crossing paths with Gogi nearby. They spot him now, and that Thunderstrike could be the mark on where they want to glimpse him back. But Jarex knows that that's coming in, so he'll just wait in the area a bit, then go for the leap out. Once the Thunderstrike's off, they can't see him anymore, so he has nowhere to glimpse him. Jarex is just waiting on the high ground, and they're going to be turning around looking to go for Cole. There's going to be the MP coming out from Trixie, and they should be able to get the finish there. On the other side, jumping in is going to be Swift Ending. He still holds that Chrono, but Trixie's already made his move inside. Now S4 looking to step in. Arrow swinging a miss from behind. Swift Ending looking to commit the chrono. It's on the S4. No Tails waiting, though. Hits him with the Stormhammer. S4, though, might not be able to rush away from this. He gets vacuumed, pulled back into a couple of ion shells, and will end up falling down. 2-for-1 trade, as that one does conclude.
Yep, so that was more even than I would have expected. So a lot of gold. It's 2-for-1. S4, who was the top of the net worth at that point, dying. So, but OD, he's still just falling behind. Like, he is the main damage dealer on this team into the mid to late game, and he's just kind of falling behind. And at this point, I'm starting to worry that he's gonna really be able to get any traction, because admittedly the Sven on the other side, he doesn't even have his arm there yet. The Sven is at a similar level of net worth, but it's just with the ET Zeus on the other team, he doesn't have a hood, he doesn't have any of the stuff. He's got sitting on 1k health. He can actually just disintegrate very, very quickly, because ET Zeus is extremely damaging, especially with a Podom. Like, when this Podom starts getting items as well.
Yeah.
Very reliant on hoods and BKBs to stay alive.
And Yapsor's already, level 9, level 10. I'm sorry. He's level 10 now. And with that comes, of course, your level 4 Natural Order. He's already got level 4 Echo Stomp. And he's got a 20-second reduced respawn timer. Opts to go for that over the strength. Alright, yeah. So pairing that together with S4, as S4 is going to get closer to his level 2 ulti, this is going to be a powerhouse of action, especially from the side of OG. I know we have that hood complete for Swift Ending. I'm glad he's got it, but the rest of his team are going to need to, I don't know, start investing in some value cloaks or something.
Yeah, it's just a bit... Yeah, Darkseid probably needs to get one as well. He's 1.2k HP of disintegratable matter at some point, so...
Which is a shame, because you look at him and the guy's got like 1200 life, he's got 14 armor, but no, that still might not be good enough.
Yep, he's just going to hit by the bolt and then get hit by the ulti, and then any nukes from Podom and he's just dead. And that will be that. With the ET on him, so... They just need to get some good fights with this next chrono, I think. I mean, if they can get kills on this OD, like, during the chronosphere, like he can maybe use his first ulti to get some damage out, because he hasn't quite skilled it yet. You don't really want to skill ulti until you really have to. He's probably going to skill 1 point at ult and then go back into his Arcane Orb and then skill as much Arcane Orb as possible until it's not sustainable anymore, and then go back into his ulti or stats. Well, actually, you can't do stats anymore, so OD's kind of in a weird place.
Smoke up here from Elements, looking to kind of tip the momentum back their way. A jumping from Swift Ending, catches 2 in the chrono. Yapsor on the outside. They will end up losing the no-tail Sven, but here comes Yapsor looking to run back and away on the back end of a Moonlight Shadow. The chase is on for Swift Ending, while on the other front they're going to be catching out a straggler here, waiting and having the Stag Storm ready to go. They're looking to get a hold of Trixie, but the stomp is there from Yapsor. Doesn't stop Swift Ending, though, as him and Mitch are able to move in and get the finish. 2 go down from the side of OG. Elements now able to open up on this Tier 1 tower. Yapsor, though, trying his best to slow them down, dishes out the Spirit with the stomp, and that will force them back. Elements will be having a hard time. There is a serious amount of outspam, if you will, as they're able to just destruct a Disruptor. S4 getting in on the action globally with that ult will allow the pickoff to be there from Jerix, but whatever the case may be, pushing is not going to be easy here from Elements, even on the back end of a fight where you feel like they have, the favor. Just too much spam out between Yapsor and Zeus and such. Caustic, Burrow, Starstorm. Pushing lanes is not going to be easy as long as OG are at attendance.
Yep. Game plan for Elements is just get Void and OD to the point where they just can't really easily be killed. They're going to get a Hurricane Pack on OD, they're going to get the Manta plus whatever on Void, and they're just going to try and take fights where they catch the Zeus out early, because if they catch the Zeus, that's the majority of the damage, until the Podom gets Ags. And at that point, then it's either Podom or the Zeus, and then once they stop being a problem, maybe Sven has got his Blink and his Mask of Madness, and then he's starting to do a lot of damage, so it's like they're kind of playing whack-a-mole with all the damage sources on OG, where they just need to constantly just stay alive and just keep farming. OG
now deep into Elements territory.
Radiant's bottom tower is
But
under
only
attack.
here to plant a ward and maybe take some farm. No one from Elements really looking to get involved. A very deep planted ward here from
Dire's
Jerix.
top tower is under attack.
Provide that little bit of
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
mid lane vision. Swift Ending is back at the grindstone farming elsewhere here, and it looks like he's going to be going straight into a Manta style on the Void there, Rhyme. Appropriate first item build-up, or I mean, I don't know if you want to be investing too much in heavy defensive items where we see some other voids like getting early Lincolns, let's say.
I
Swift
mean, if
endings.
you go Link into this game, Zeus is going to blink on top of you, he's going to pop it with
Yeah.
Arc Lightning, and then Sven and Podem and Sanking are all just going to follow suit and just kind of pile onto you. So I think just getting Manta, it gives you damage, gives you some survivability. You can just dispel some things, but there's not really anything to dispel with it right now. You can disjoint Sven stun. That's one of the main things I see in this game, but it's just a decent damage item, and he's probably going to go Diffusal so he can purge off the Warcry, but you don't really want to go straight Diffusal. You probably want to get Manta beforehand, because farming with the Diffusal feels kind of lackluster. So the Yasha then naturally goes into the Manta, so it feels like a very streamlined build, I think.
Seems like that could be the theme. Building into damage that also provides a bit of survivability. And the funny thing is like when I think about items like that, I can't help but think I'm going to ask a totally just random question as far as an item and its relevance into the game now. Sage and Yasha, just never see this item ever again on any hero, it seems like. This item, is it due for a change before it really finds its place in Dota? Because I feel like any case, there is a better item for what you want to get out of it. Oh boy. I have to hold your opinion about the Sage and Yasha here because elements are rolling deep right now and just narrowly missing openings for OG.
Yeah, in terms of SMY, I think it's just, I mean, on any hero where you build Yasha, then like Agi hero, you probably want to build Manta style. In some strength heroes, you want to build Manta style instead. It's just 2k gold that, I don't know, on ranged heroes you don't get the slow very much anymore, and there's just Echo Saber in terms of instead of SMY for lots of heroes like Nakes that used to build SMY.
So strength core melee cores, there are not many of them.
Just
Bristleback. It's like,
oh, he still probably builds it, but
yeah. But yeah,
and
unfortunately,
just
just
doesn't
has
really
such a
exist anymore.
such a niche pickup. I feel like for most heroes now. But
yeah, it's just not really a thing now. Echo Saber and Manta styles are just too good at the moment.
pause here for Mitch as the sign of elements here, still kind of working their way through some of the lag. Let's take a reset to look things overall. 10-6 OG up, just about 3k of a net worth advantage, along with the XP department. Never seen a repause during an unpause, so now we got this thing stuck on my screen. But
that game is unpausing forever.
but whatever the case may be here, what is happening here? No-Tail, did he just pick something up? Is that what's flying right here? Why can't I
Mask
see
of
that?
Madness. There we go.
Oh, there he is. Couldn't see it. Ah, yes. Mask of Madness now. Item receives some changes, Ryan. No longer just amplified damage. It's now just a reduction of your armor and a silence. And that sounds wonderful for a hero like Sven, who happens to have, a certain Warcry ability that happens to just give him bonus armor. And once he happens to cast everything, he's pretty much done. So you can be silenced. Is this going to be like a go-to pick for Sven's moving forward?
I think so. You've been seeing it a lot on heroes like Luna as well. There's probably a whole assortment of Helm of the Dom heroes that would now probably go Mask of Madness that we haven't quite seen yet. So yeah, it's good for Sven. You just kind of go in, you pop ulti, you pop your Stormbolt on somebody, and then you just pop Mom as soon as you start hitting away, and then people just tend to disappear. So yeah, I think it works.
People have been really enjoying it on the Lich, the new infamous core Lich.
Yeah, that thing. The whole Sylar going, deciding he's a Lich. Did he win that game?
I don't remember. I didn't watch it all the way through. It was a China game, and I had to sleep eventually, Rhyme. But I did remember catching a bit of it. I had a game with a core Lich, too. I believe they started with a Rod and then moved into the Mask, and then got the Scotty. And if you didn't already know, for people watching, the Lich's 25 talent pretty much gives him a free Scotty. That comes after his level 20 talent that gives him a free 150 bonus damage. So people were like, a free Scotty and a free 150 bonus damage? Why not make him a late game hitting core? And people have found momentum out of that. I don't know if it's going to be mainstream, if you will, but I hope we get to see more stuff like that with the 7.0 being out,
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff you can do. I think Carry Lich is just but one of the first that people are going to try. I think a lot of the talents are quite interesting. You've got some heroes which, well, my favourite is the Queen of Pain one, where you just, Octarine Blade Mail and become immortal. You actually just can't take any damage, which I think is a bit silly.
What is the talent that allows it? Is it spell amplification or
it's
reduction?
you get the option of 25 intelligence or 70% spell lifesteal, which means that
Oh.
if you press a Scream of Pain on anyone, you can like full heal from a Shiva's God that hits 5 heroes. You can press Blade Mail, and then if you have a Nocturne Core as well, then you have 95% damage reduction, or 95% spell lifesteal. And then if you include the way Blade Mail works with armor and magic resistance, you will then heal from any damage that doesn't immediately one-shot you.
Yeah, that must be nice. Fortunately,
Yeah,
we're not
it's pretty
seeing
good.
we're not seeing much Queen of Pain in competitive play. I've seen a share of it in pubs, but
Yeah, her mid game is just so iffy that she just kind of... She doesn't really kill things by herself. She's a follow-up hero that doesn't really do that much. She's very, very squishy. She has a difficult time really getting off the ground. Her laning stage used to be pretty good, but a lot of heroes can go even with her now. So, yeah, it's just... She's not what she used to be. And these talents make a better late game, but they don't really change the bit which made her dubious in the first place, which is her, like, going from the 10-minute mark onwards. It's like you won your laning phase, you've maybe used an ult to get a kill, but then you realize you're a hero with 1000 health that can't really do anything without your other farmed cores. So,
I'm just looking over some of the other talents here too. Darkseer is level 25, is an option between plus 70 Iron Shell damage or 12% cooldown reduction. I don't play a whole lot of Darkseer here, Ryan, but if you had to choose between one of the two here, I wager Iron Shell damage helps keep lanes pushed out. It obviously is like one of those talents where it helps keep one of what was just a good early game skill a bit better into the later game, or would you find more value in, trying to get that wall back up earlier?
I think it's Iron Shell damage for sure. Like, if you think about it, I think Quap's level 15 talent is a 12% cooldown reduction, and Darkseer gets at level 25. There is no...
Yeah, but
I
he
don't
gets
quite-
12% evasion at level 10, while other agility heroes get it at level 20.
Oh, yeah.
So you
True.
pick and you
So-
choose. That's how frog, the frog works. He's like, yeah.
I'm
people
sure
are-
the Iron Shell is preferable though. But he does have his hood now, so he is the tankiest hero with the highest net worth, so he is now much harder to bring down, although he still does die quite quickly, so just the hoods are stacking up and the OD is getting closer to his Hurricane Pike, so I'm just worried that like these supports on elements, like if they get caught by anything, they just die instantly.
Yeah. Do you get a blink yet next on this Darkseer, or do you just go full Greaves or Pipe?
I think Pipe, honestly.
I think the team
Does
needs
he have
it.
anything that's quick buy? No, he doesn't have anything yet, but I think Pipe is necessary. Just a 10% flat reduction. But, or he could go Greaves, and then I think it's debatable. I think Greaves is also very understandable, but I think Dagger against Zeus and all this stuff, I don't think it's really going to work. Because if he blinks in and initiates, and Void
Yeah.
is going to have to chrono it, like it doesn't really work that well together.
That's true, yeah, I forget. I mean, we don't get to see... It's been a while since I've had the pleasure of seeing Zeus in games. I think the last time Zeus saw any sort of... At least from the games I've casted, was when we were back in our illusion heyday with, like, people trying to figure out how to be dealing with Shadow Demon illusions and Luna illusions and Terrorblade and such. A team, I think it was S4. Can't remember if it was while he was on Secret or back on Alliance again, but they tried to pull it out as an option. I don't remember it working out too well, but here we get to see him play it again, which we'll see. I mean, he was out of the playing field for a while, and a lot of the other heavy spellcasters, just because of the introduction of the raindrops and such, and all the buffs to like all the defensive spell items. But oh my god,
I'm
we have
interested
Dota.
to see how he's playing it, because he's kind of just going Soul Ring Ether Lens, which is fairly standard for most people, but a lot of people want to get the maybe a Yule's or a Veil or something like that, but he's just going straight for the Dagger. I think the last person I saw playing this a lot was a Miracle, and he tended to go for the Tranquil Boots, Ether Lens, and then go straight into Veil and then Blink and Boots of Travel. That was like his main thing, so we might see something along those lines, but I think Dagger, just to make sure that he's not in range of the Void and he has a way to react, because if he sees Void come out of smoke right now, he just kind of has to hope that he survives, which when you're a 1.1k health Zeus, it's not usually going to happen.
Checking
Now
out
it's time to
this
smoke.
new ancient camp right now. I love it when I'm a coddle and there's this new ancient camp, because apparently they have no spell resistance, so you could just illuminate farm them like early on, like level 3. But
Oh, I
I've
farmed
never
them as like a level 7 SF. Quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I haven't seen like Chen pick it up and utilize all those cool skills and stuff. But here's OG creeping into the neighborhood, smoked up, looking to catch elements, might have an opportunity to creep in from behind. Mitch is there. There goes the vision. Now they're going to make their jump assault, and they're looking to isolate and quickly take out the Omni Knight. No Guardian Angel for you, sir. Now rotation's going to be coming in. Cole's there. Goes for the Astral to get the save because of the splitter coming out, and now Swift Ending. Jumps in. Chrono going to get dropped. They're looking to quickly take out No Tail, and they won't be able to get it now. There goes Trixie jumping in Epicenter. Static Storm has a cherry right on top from Gogi. Hoping to get the finish. Will get Trixie down with a wall in the mix too. It's too much for OG to handle, and they are going to be losing 4 at the end of the day. Yapsor, the lone survivor, he just frantically makes his way out from the fight. Man, Elements, hold strong, avoid trouble. Good rotations coming in from Cole, get the quick save, and this came from them losing the Omni Knight at the start of the fight.
Yep, it's just Cole managed to get all his damage out. He got to hit the Sven during the Chrono, he got to save the Darkseer from the ET. Basically, OD had the perfect fight there. And then Gogi managed to get the double silence onto the Sanking and the Zeus, so Zeus couldn't follow up on the low OD, because he couldn't follow up on the Burrow Strike, which meant that OD managed to get his damage out again. And now they get a pipe on Darkseer, so he goes for the pipe instead of the Greaves. He might just go for a dagger now, but he could get both and become very tanky indeed. Swift Ending, he's 1k gold away from his Manta style. Cole, he's thinking about finishing up an Atos. Yeah, so all in all, items progressing very well. Again, Omni Knight and Disruptor, like, they are very, very squishy, and these cores, I think, they do need to have the Omni and Disruptor with them, and they are very, very easy to pick off. But the pipe and the Guardian Greaves, if it comes up, will protect them. But I think they need a tiny bit of space to farm, but it's very, very hard to give that to them.
And right now we have OG kind of pushing the lanes all forward, so the available farm here from Elements is a bit more restricted than normal. As OG know that they have to kind of get back to the drawing board as far as farming up a bit. Jarek's trying to make his way towards his Ags on the Mirana here, holds the point booster for now, and about 1k gold, just shy of 2k, but being able to get the finish there. I don't know if that's what OG could be trying to win on, but yeah, Trixie and S4 here scouting out and stalking this top lane. It's Cole being babysat by LeBron right now, and they'll continue to rush on forward in this lane. Jarek's is waiting for him on the other side, and look at this, S4 and Trixie cut off the creeps from behind, so they will realize that they are possibly being flanked here, and Cole and LeBron will round the corner. Now it's going to be the Thunder Gods coming out. Provides a little bit of vision, but OG will take this opportunity to step out.
Who's scared of who here?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, who's dodging who? Is it Elements rounding the corner looking for a fight? No, it just looks like OG are stalling out the lane as they jump in and just take out a wave and then leave. Fight, unfortunately, maybe not lining up for them the way they were hoping for. And Elements now have everyone on deck in this top lane to make a push and try to take down this tier 1.
Alright, so Atos basically stopped Sanking from being a hero, and it's about to come up on the OD, 20 gold after this tower. I don't know if they're going to be able to get this, but they're kind of setting up bottom. Swift Ending is going to smoke down. He probably expects No Tail to try and push this tower.
S4's
S4
around.
needs to be very careful.
Yeah, he is. Okay, he just shows himself. Oh, okay. Swift Ending goes in for the jump. Does not pull the trigger on the Chrono, thank goodness, because S4 was able to blink back it away. Up and above, though, Trixie making a move in with No Tail. Hits up Cole. Cole going to get a Guardian Angel and a Repel, and then TP the hell out of there. And that's when they put their focus onto little LeBron. And LeBron is, well, he's on his own between 3, so he is as good as dead. And he'll be sent into the afterlife. OG will take that pick, but, you know, he's just being a martyr at the end of the day. S4 will move in and be able to clean out his sentry ward here. But you can feel it. Elements still have that Chrono and might still try to make something out of it. Jarek's was close, but, oh, they were trying to scout her out with the sentry wards under her Moonlight Shadow, but Jarek's just happened to go right under their nose and out the other side. No, ambitious move from Cole. Whew. Goes for S4, but S4 will dodge it with his blink. Element's just reaching right now to try to get some grabs here, but OG not making it easy.
They're off the Omni Knight now. They're ready to fight. They have the pipe and the mech. They have Chrono. They have everything they want, but they just can't really get creeps here because ET Zeus. You know, even if they do like start winning these fights, they're never really going to be able to go high ground, and they're always going to be scared of getting the perfect initiation with Sanking and Sven. Yeah, OG's draft is just kind of mean. And he's looking towards a BKB on No Tail, so And he's very, very close to it, in fact.
Managed to get some farm in that top lane, but now pulled back. Mitch confidently running in, maybe going for an ambitious vacuum to catch someone on the high ground, but it's going to be a miss. And now Elements will open up onto this tier 1. They were unable to get the tier 1 finish in the top lane. Now looking for a second try here at the mid. But again, OG, they can just spam down these waves. There we go. Swift has had enough. He just runs right in, goes in, gets Yapsor, but could end up hurting him more than, well, the damage he was planning to output over here. Gogi drops down his Stack Storm, and that also will not lead to a kill. Ultimate's going down here from Elements, and no kills to be had. OG getting ready to sweep in and clean everything else up. They jump in and get the pick quickly on 2. Now they're looking to go for Swift Ending with a setup coming in from Trixie and his Burrow. A push down of Time Walk back up. Wherever you want to go, you're going to die. Then they're going to get Cole on the back end of it, and OG take their own 4-man wipe. Triple kill for No Tail. And Trixie says, I got you guys. Let's just make it a solid 5-man wipe. He jumps in, gets the Burrow for Mitch, but it looks like Mitch may be able to surge himself out. Nah, it doesn't look like it. S4 is able to catch up with a Blink Dagger, and that will do it. A 5-man wipe. All going the way of OG. Mitch will be able to get the kill on Trixie, though. Oh, wait. Trixie, kill Elements. Oh, okay, I read that backwards. Sorry. And it was a dominating streak, apparently, on Mitch. That will be handed over to Trixie.
Yep, that fight was very, very spread out. And Swift Ending tried to go for the ET, he couldn't quite finish him. And then OD was left fighting the Zeus and the Sven, and then Sven and Sanking were fighting the Void, and then he wasn't able to get disrupted. And then when he got forced down out of the way by OD, he already pressed Time Walk at that moment, so he ended up Time Walking back to exactly where he was. So instead of being able to get away, he just kind of died. So that fight was very, very chaotic, and I think it's also what happens when you just can't kill the supports of OG. Like if you look at their supports, they've got a Podum who now has an Ags in stash. They have an ET who's getting closer and closer to his Yules, compared to an Omni Knight who's got Mana Boots and a Wind Lace, and you got Disruptor with Boots and a Cloak. It's just very, very easy for the supports on Elements to completely get obliterated, and for OG it's very, very hard to kill anyone. Even the Zeus now is getting tankier. He's looking towards getting a Bloodstone now.
Yep.
Tanking, he's looking towards an Aghanims. Like, they're just kind of forming a well-rounded, like, damaging team that can survive quite a lot of stuff. And once you think, like, there's OD Omni on the other side, but right now, without, like, maneuverability, he's looking for the dagger on the OD. Without this stuff, they just... it doesn't really feel like they can win these fights.
OG hanging around the front porch of this Roche pit, maybe to see if they can bait in Elements into an awkward position, as Elements could frantically move that way to try to defend it. Doesn't look to be the case here. Elements continue to kind of wait around and lurk. Swift Ending's back now. He has a Chrono up and at the ready. All ultimates, rather, are up and at the ready here. Oh, I didn't notice, but Jarex was able to finish out that Agnum Scepter too, so even more to add on top of the constant wave spam and farm capabilities here of OG. And I would not be surprised if, yes, that Nevgrath continues to go up quite high here for him. 10k. Swift Ending.
Allies disappear.
Yeah. What are they going to use with it? Coming up and around the corner here. Jarex maybe just trying to get in a good position to lob an arrow. He's walking over some arrows right now, or some wards rather, but hasn't been spotted. Gogi's heading that way. Ooh, there's the ward. They see him, but Jarex is going to get off the strike first, and that's going to be a disruptor down. Jump in from Trixie, gets stunned, gets connection, turn around from Swift Ending. Chrono onto 2. From the outskirts is going to be Cole, dropping down the Sands Eclipse, and now dishes out the right clicks here. No Tail is very low, but not going to be brought down. Pops his BKB, and is able to shrug off the trouble. Both supports will be going down from Elements as they try to make chase to at least get Trixie. They will get that one, but now S4 looks to move in, drops the Veil, and now they drop the serious nuking power onto Swift Ending and will be able to blow up the Faceless One. It looks like No Tail could be dropping here, but man, this guy can hold on. Continues to fight, continues to live. No Tail is holding strong and backs up and stays nice and safe. Cole's going to get lobbed with an arrow right there and gets the finish. Gogi could be next, and that will make it a 5-man wipe. Actually, I think at 6. They might even make it 7 with a takedown of LeBron here, but S4 maybe a bit too far, jumping in. Well, they get it. All right, Rhyme. Triple kill for S4. I'm pretty sure that was a 7-man wipe at the end of the day, taking down Disruptor and Omni twice.
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah,
and now
that
they take
was,
a tier 2.
They tried to burst the Sven down in the Chronosphere. They tried to use the ulti as soon as possible, but
Dire's middle tower
didn't
is
quite
under
work
attack.
out. He just barely lived, and then he turned the armlet on again, and they just don't have any damage to go through his BKB. Like, literally nothing. They have maybe... Yeah, the time lock doesn't go through it, so it's just Void
Dire's
dealing
middle tower
171
is under
damage every 0.68 seconds. That's the damage that they have through the BKB. And it's just not enough. And on the other side you have like OG, just with the Zeus ulti and the Potom nukes you can kill Gogi straight away. Like, LeBron just gets melted. I'm just worried because like 2K network supports, this is just the story of the game. Like, it was looking really, really good, and then you realize that OG have 5 heroes and it seems like Elements only really have 3.
Yeah. Yeah, these supports really are not going to be able to offer a whole lot in these fights without just getting themselves just decimated by the power of the spam coming out from OG. Just a victim of war, really, for a lot of these Elements members. But towers are going down. Tier 2 top lane set to fall, leaves just the bottom one. Then Shrines are going down, and then Elements find themselves restricted inside their base in game number 5. Do or die time? Soon enough, I'd imagine. Ooh, come across, almost get no tail. Oh, he pump faked the chrono. It actually would have caught him if he committed it, but it goes for the safer bet. Catches up to where no tail pops out, but he needs more firepower here. The whole chrono's done. They drop down a new ward. No tail commits for the BKB and looks to man up here, but the Guardian Angel is going to be forced out. No tail still living, still kicking. Runs back and away. Swift Ending has to conclude his chase and now has to accept the reality that he might be fighting back into an advantage for OG here. S4 on the other side. There's the re-engagement from No Tail to get the burst, and oh! He is able to time walk all of that damage right back off as he heads to the high ground. Meanwhile, Cole able to get the nice little pick onto Jerix here, making it a 1-for-1 trade.
Alright, Dagger already. I think this is the main thing that will allow them to fight better. They can use it to kind of save people and to also disengage.
Brute on the Yapzor. He runs back out. Trixie will step in to help slow them down, but now finds himself in a bit of a pickle. Vacuum back. There's the Force, elusive as ever. OG trying to make it away from the trouble. Trixie, though, too much power from the Ion Shell, from the right clicks. He'll end up being dropped. There's the Stormhammer to fly out, but on the other side they found Cole, and they're looking to bring him down. Sandy's Hammer, though, gets it done, and we'll get Yapzor taken out, but he will end up being dropped. S4 hiding and juking behind his own tower. Swift Ending tries to get the jump onto him and then decides to go to the high ground to avoid further trouble, but that's when No Tail makes his move. Trying to get some shots onto Mitch. Mitch backs out in a way, and now it's going to be No Tail caught under the power of Swift Ending, and he will be able to get the job done. Splitter is to fly. It will get connection, but Swift Ending time walks that one off as well. Now he's just in a man fight against Yapzor, who's able to trunk him down with the luggage, and now makes chase for Gogi. A buyback comes out. It's on Swift Ending. He's looking to go for the TP to make it to the shrine and back in this fight, but I don't know if it's going to be in good time for any sort of second round. I say that, but now he sees Jerix. Hits him with the time dilation. That will be the end of it.
That buyback is going to hurt them.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Yep, so S4, he's a bit too tanky. He doesn't really die with the Bloodstone now. He was at risk of dying, but Void was like, Sven, he knew Sven was on the high ground about to go on him, and then at the exact same moment he blinked with Iron Shell to go on the Sven to cancel his blink. Sven blinked down and went on the Darkseer, so like they kind of switched positions in the fight and it was kind of awkward. But OD, he got quite a lot out of that fight. He's got his treads now, got 500 gold. He basically committed quite hard for the kill on Yapzor, but oh, Chrono.
Chrono bottom lane to get the jump here. Can they get the burst? Yes, they can. Trixie goes down. Swift Ending with that Ion Shell. More than enough to get it done. The rest of OG were kind of meeting up towards that shrine. Trixie just a little too far from his friends. Element's trying to hold on here. It's still OG's game to lose at this point, but Element's trying to give them a run for their money.
Now this is what they have to watch out for. Orchid coming out on No Tail pretty soon, 1k gold, and he's a Sven, so he's going to farm it fairly quickly. And then he can look towards items after that, like Bloodthorn, and then... Yeah, as Sven, in this game, he's got the burst damage needed to kill people. He can destroy the Omni Knight if necessary, he can blow up the Void. But it's just a question of like... So now, Omni's level 12, he's got his level 2 ulti, he's got max repel. So he is in a situation now where he's actually starting to do stuff. Like, he's a bit more tanky, he's got his plate mail up. but he's still kind of reliant on Darkseid to keep him up with the Guardian Greaves and Pipe. I just think, like, if they can take a few fights, like, if they can manage to get the jump, if they can kill Yapzor before he gets his, like, split off, if they can... I think it's mainly Trixie that once they kill him, the Burrow Strike is the main source of disable. Like, once that's out of the way, then it allows Void and OD to kind of act with relative impunity.
So they step back and get to their appropriate sides of farm right now. But where's the urgency here? And who should the urgency really be on at this point? Roche is up. Neither team really seemed to be like, we got to get it now. They both just seem kind of content in doing their own thing here, with maybe Elements, you know, waving towards the side of being frisky here as they head towards OG territory. But
honestly, I think with the Chrono in the late game, I think when he gets Diffusal, I think he's capable of killing almost anybody apart from the Sven with BKB up. And then when that becomes a factor, he's got his dagger already. Like, when the Shivas comes out on the OD, most of the damage is going to come from the Zeus, because the Sven's BKB is going down. It's already at 7 seconds. He's going to rely on the SK and the Zeus for most of the damage output. Once it reaches that stage, then, like, all it takes is one Chrono and then a catch on the Zeus or a catch on the ET, and fights get very, very easy. And also, if the Omni and Disruptor get any kind of network, this game can change very, very quickly. So I think
they get
honestly,
net worth, okay.
Yeah. But OG, they're in a position where they can win fights rather easily at this point if they take them correctly. And I think they really do want to do that very quickly, because Void is going to get bigger, and if Void does get like the Diffusal, then whatever after that, maybe he gets a BKB as well, he becomes much harder to kill, and OD is much the same.
I mean, at that point, when we're going into the later game, like, would you have more faith in Elements lineup into the later game when you're going against a Sven? I mean, Jairus could scale into a new core. I don't know about the longevity of a Zeus, but this game pushes into like that 50-minute mark. Who would you favor?
I just don't think I want to be a Sven against like Chronosphere and Omni Knight in the late game. And I think that just the fact that Sven was going to have a very difficult time, and OD and Void, they kind of enjoy the fights the longer they go on, because Void can use his Time Walk and kind of get in and out, especially if he has Manta and Repel to work with. But they are going to take this Roche, despite the relative aggressive warding of Elements, so it's just some time for Elements to play a little bit more safely.
Yeah, Elements definitely not playing like their usual selves, at least. You know, waiting until they have all the right tools before they can kind of follow up with anything relevant here. Omni Knight with the value plate mail. Okay. I mean, maybe segues into a Lotus Orb or something eventually, but I don't know. I would have been more of a Aether Lens kind of a guy.
Oh, Aether Lens, okay.
You know, because his range is just so bad. You really need to be close to be able to kind of get everything out. I think one of his talents gives him range. Yeah, his level 15 talent will give him a little bit of cast range, but...
Well, it's much the same as Shadow Demon, actually. Yeah.
But I can understand plate mail. I mean, you're going against a Elder Titan, for God's sake, so someone's got to get armor. Ooh, courier?
Yeah,
they don't want a courier. They want a team.
They want S4, but he's got the Aegis.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, did he see him? Oh, a jump in is there from Swift. Oh my god, he backpedals just in time to avoid that arrow. That would have been clutch. Now, Time Walks off the stun, commits him with the Chrono, looks to man up against No Tail inside the bubble, but look what's happening from behind. Trixie and company unloading a huge epicenter with the help of S4 in that Veil. It is going to be more than enough power. Trixie barely holding on and alive. Swift ending and No Tail still having their man match, but this time Trixie steps in with the stun and allows No Tail to get the finish. Sans Eclipse is going to get dropped, but it's not going to be good enough. It doesn't look like Elements are going to be able to get the best of this fight. Even coming in from behind is not going to be good enough. OG hold this one and will wipe out the whole team.
Yep, their initial go just got completely stopped by the ET Spirit and the Zeus Lightning Bolt, so that's life, unfortunately.
The vision game is just unreal from OG. Having the Spirit to be able to throw around, Moonlight Shadow to kind of check things out, Sand King to kind of be all over the place. And of course,
they're going to buy back to defend
Zeus.
this Rex. Like, there's not much building damage here, but it's enough. And Mitch is going to send himself down the net worth rankings in order to put up a defense here. S4 he's gone in.
He is away from his team, just happy to do a Zeus thing here. caught in the midst of a static storm. Doesn't be enough to bring him down, but they will be able to glimpse him back. And that is his Aegis here. OG are still waiting over on the other side. Will they go in to save Gustav in need? They might not need to. He pops off the ult and turns back, maybe going for Disruptor, but that's when Disruptor gets the safety repel. And Jarex is hoping to kind of sweep in as well.
E-Blade here.
Yeah, they're just playing around with him a bit. Now he E-Blades. Now he gets the Starstorm off. That will be the finish. And Jarex leaps out the other direction to try to make it away from trouble. But he is being chased down by Mitch currently. While that happens, Cole is also able to get the catch onto Yapzor.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And Jarex will go down. Whoa, that is a long bar. Mitch, Gogi, LeBron all killed Jarex apparently.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold being distributed. 1k gold straight away. And Cole, he gets the money almost for Shivas now. I don't understand what it is about OG. Like, as soon as they go up those steps to high ground, their decision-making process just completely goes out the window.
Yeah, right? It happened in the last game too in the mid lane when they're just like,
actually,
we're here, we're
I
feeling
can't
good, guys. Let's just kill those guys back there in the base, way back in there.
Admittedly, this one was a lot more understandable than the one Visage because, honestly, Elements played this perfectly. They managed to keep the blinks on cooldown the whole time. They used Repel very, very effectively. And they managed to stop it because, honestly, I understand why he went in with Aegis. He goes, okay, they've just bought back. If I can kill the Ducks here, force them to try and kill me, and then turn the fight around, then they just might just straight up take a Rax and get a very big advantage in the game. Like, it's a very reasonable thing to do, but things just didn't really go very well. Trixie's just gonna go down.
6 is the magic number. Cole will be able to bop down Trixie right there. Just unfortunately wrong place at the wrong time for the Sand King.
Yep. Cole grows stronger. And he's about to hit his level 25 talent, which is 60 seconds Arcane Seal. That's, you win a fight, then you win the next one. I don't know if anyone would really go for the 8% spell amp. I mean, that's just...
That's
such a...
On who?
Why would anyone... There. On OD, it's just...
let me see.
On OD, it's level 25. Like, the Arcane Orb is just so much better.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. I don't know. It's really different for every hero, and I don't know if they have plans to kind of make adjustments on talent trees for some. Some of them, it's like level 25 has 2 like godly good ones. Sometimes it's like one obvious one and one that's like, why would you ever consider getting that secondary talent? And some heroes actually just, I don't know, in my opinion, their level 25 talents are just not that great. At least when you compare it to other awesome stuff that heroes like Lich and Queen of Pain and Amber Spear and all these people have. But
if you look at, like, well, this is never going to happen, but imagine if Gogi got level 25, right? Look at that. He either gets free Hood or he gets 4 Thunderstrike hits. I think you'd obviously go for the Thunderstrike, but like,
oh yeah,
you just get, it goes once every second, and you pretty much 100% uptime on Thunderstrike, so you know where people are the entire time, and it's very, very annoying, and it basically stops someone from using Blink entirely.
I got it once during the back end of a game, and it's nice. I mean, 4 extra seconds to maintain that vision, or 4 extra bursts of the thunder to like keep waves pushed back. I mean, that is just one of those cases where I feel like it's a no-brainer. I don't know, maybe in a certain situation with a heavy amount of magic power, like maybe this game, I don't know, you feel like you need to have the spell reduction, but we'll see.
That's a long, long way off.
Yeah.
Now Mitch, he was sitting at the top of the net worth for quite a while on his team, but now he's overtaken by the OD. He's got an Ultimate Orb, so he's probably looking towards a Hex because there's no Lotus Orbs on the side of Radiant to really dispel such a thing. That means they do have follow-up onto the Chrono. They don't just have to go, oh no, he's going to BKB now, we have to kind of run away, so they've got that. They've got another way to jump. I think I was kind of expecting to go Shivas, but yeah, the OG decided to go for that instead. And I think, honestly, Elements aren't in that bad of a position. As long as they just don't get caught out by the Sven with the Bloodthorn and just lose a core immediately, which honestly is pretty likely, given that Zeus now has a Dagon 3.
Dire's bottom tower is under
As long as that
attack.
doesn't happen, I think they're in a pretty okay position, but I say that as OG kind of hit the racks.
And now they're hitting backliners here. They just shred through the Omni Knight. He's not going to be here for the fight at all. No Guardian Angel, no heals, no repels. They're going to have to do it without. Cole, outside of the Chrono, dishing out as much damage as possible. Going to be forced to do the self-prison, but then gets blasted from S4 as he comes on out. Jarex diving in deep, gets himself caught within a Stack Storm. Now the Vacuum Wall combo does manage to come out from Mitch. Forces him back and away, but the Epicenter from Trixie does a good number. and could force Elements to kind of step off a bit. Long little burrow strike to get Trixie out into the safety net, but Cole's back with his second life away from home. Sanity's not nearly good enough. He gets blasted out of this game for 2 minutes, and OG may have just sealed the deal on their trip to Croatia with that one. They have just wiped out for the third time Elements Pro Gaming. Cole is going to be out without a buyback, and Swift Ending could buy back here, and they just know they have to. This is it. It is do or die for Elements.
Buyback is still on cooldown
and
for the last time.
That could have done it. They just jump in, and okay, they get the Guardian Angel, they get the save on Swift Ending, but then he gets stomped. Oh no. And he gets arrowed, and he's dead. It is over. Both cores are out of this one for so long that OG should be able to easily clean out and do what's necessary inside of this base.
Sometimes you just buy back on OD and you get E-bladed from one side and Dagon 5 from the other side, and you just kind of, go splat. And now they're just not GGing out, and as a result, OG have been inspired to dive. Jarex gets the E-blade on 5 HP, and good game.
Good game, OG. I mean, that is something else. Okay, OG come into this, and this is a team that have already proved that they're one of the best. They had just, taken the Boston Major against Adfinem. Here already, they're jumping into another tournament, working their way through a qualifier. Because of, I'm sure, the tournament put out their invite so long ago. OG not a part of the invite group. They have to, like with the rest of the plebs, work their way through the qualifier. And they do it here with a couple of stand-ins. Of course, Tal and Anna both being on vacation. They bring in the likes of Trixie and Yapsor, and are able to get it done. And in this final, Rhyme, they start 0-2 and run it back 3 games straight to take the whole thing. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think being able to come from 0-2 down and then taking 3 games in a row with stress, with stand-ins, against a team that is pretty good and has adapted well to the patch, I think they kind of took it as a learning experience, just kind of learn how the game went over time. And then eventually they just went from picking like SD and Drow strats, then they just went, we're just going to pick ET Zeus and just blow people up. So, yeah. Exciting.
Gotta applaud Elements, though. They had a pretty good run. I mean, this is a team coming into this event. I'll be honest with you, because there's so many Dota teams out there in so many regions. It's a team I probably wouldn't have given a double look at, just because we never really get to see him make it into the big spotlight. But I gotta say, they made a good name for himself here in the run. They managed to, yesterday, run it right through ATN, then take down Alliance, I think that was one of their easiest series, to be honest with you. Taking down Alliance 0-2.
Alliance was very convincing. The one versus ATM was far more contested, actually.
Yeah, definitely. And here, they go 5 games with OG. It's unfortunate because they started this series 2-0 and only needed that one more win to close it out, but they at least gave OG a run for their money. The Swift ending Slark is going to be something I will never forget when I think about Slark players. And yeah, I'm excited to look for more from them in the future. I'm sure I'll be seeing them in a qualifier and such. But I guess before we send things out, Rhyme, any final thoughts on this Dota Pit run, or things looking forward as far as 7.0?
I'm just looking forward to see how new heroes play out. I want to see a Queen of Pain at level 25, and other than that, I'm going to play some more and just see how it works out.
Should be a good time. We might be seeing some more casting from you in the near future, I hope. But other than that, folks, that will wrap things up. Thank you so much for coming by and hanging out. The Dota Pit Croatia LAN is set. Let me go ahead and just read off one more time that final list of participants for the Dota Pit LAN here, so you can get an idea of what to expect on the back end of January in Croatia. We have your TI Champions Wings, we have Digital Chaos, we have Team Secret, Virtus Pro, Team Faceless, Invictus Gaming, Evil Geniuses, and now OG. That's looking pretty dang stacked. So looking forward to see how all these top competing teams manage to handle 7.0 at what could be, I don't want to speak too soon, but one of the first 7.0 lands. I want to say that ESL is going to be happening before that, so it probably won't be the first 7.0 land, but should be a good time nonetheless, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure doing the group stage casting. I know there was a lot of little technical flubs here and there. I'm a one-man show trying to do production from home, so I hope you forgive me, but this has been a hoot. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your Dota, and we'll see you for more Dota Pit action come January in Croatia. Take care!
gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quest for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.